Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Bring It Down. Let's play with the Cogitator.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Always keep
Access
your eye
received.
on the price.
Unyielding Vanguard Boots. All allies in a 2-cell radius around the wearer gain a plus 40% bonus to resolve from the Unyielding Beacon ability, instead of the original bonus. That's pretty good. The original bonus is 1/5. Slap those on. And they look pretty cool to boot. Get it? Because they're boots. Let's pick up this litter.
Is there money to be made?
Come one, come all, peer into the eyes of the enemies of humanity. Xenobeastus unknownus. Behavior, cruelty, trickery, rampant mating. Habitat void, doesn't need air. Diet rocks. Fears, the Emperor, and fire. Are these just people dressed up? Punish the Xenos, a coin for a go. Urukara, behavior, villainy, malice. Habitat everywhere. Hides among people. Diet, doesn't eat, feeds on blasphemous thoughts. Fears the Emperor, prayer, and righteous thoughts. Yaldari, behavior, duplicitous, aggressive. Habitat woods. Diet infants. 2 to 3 a week. Fears the Emperor and righteous people. Oh no, they're probably mutants dressed up because if you can see the arm there, it's mutated. That's not an Eldari. Well, let's punish the enemies of humanity anyway. See what happens. Can we talk to this guy? We can. This young man is clearly making every effort to look dapper. His fashionable clothes are practically new, and his hair is well groomed. What ruins this impression is the poorly scrubbed off oil stains from his leaky implant, and the fit of his jacket, which is clearly made for someone else. He gives you a beaming smile and says, his voice ringing, "Your lordship, what an incredible honor. This humble collection is hardly likely to impress you, a rogue trader, conqueror of stars. But it is the best one on Footfall." Press and hold the button. It probably kills all of them. Now, what kind of collection is this? Dangerous, vicious, ruthless xenobeasts caught red-handed as they were attempting to commit evil against the Imperium. But right now, they're harmless. Our cages can withstand their rage, but I wouldn't recommend getting too close. Haha. These aren't Xenos. They're mutants in makeup. The man's smile dims, but only for a moment. Not Xenos, you say? I'm sure there must be some mistake. I'll check the shipping list myself, rest assured. His words are oozing with greenish-yellow hues. I do not think the promise will be kept. Such entertainment is lucrative precisely because billions of Imperium subjects have never encountered a Xenos in their life. Ignorance and curiosity create colossal demand. That's what I was taught. And I can see that the lesson was truthful. Interesting. I guess they are mutants, which the Imperium classifies differently than abhumans. Abhumans are strains of humanity that evolved over time on separate planets, depending on the living conditions. Like Ogrins, their planet has a very high gravity, which is why they're so strong. Do you know what I see? Heresy. These exhibits must burn. You will burn along with them. Wait, please. A little zealous, but
I always keep my options open.
that's what we're going for this playthrough. News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall. Alright, this must be the palace. I'm not going to go that way yet.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
By the Legion's special decree, citizens permitted to brew rot gut for personal consumption.
Keep your wits about you.
The machine god grants me insight.
I always have a backup plan.
Compared to
What
naval
do we
service,
have here?
that was barely a challenge.
A great sword and commander's monocle. Whenever an ally under the effect of the wearer's voice of command ability makes an attack during an extra turn, its attack deals an additional % damage. And I'm going to give Abelard the Greatsword. I wanted to give him a two-handed weapon for a while now, since he rarely ever uses his sidearm. And I think the only two-handed weapon we found so far was an axe, which I don't see a Seneschal using. The Greatsword is a far more refined weapon. Do with a different helmet. For appearance's sake, the helmet itself is fine. The numerous wounds and injuries indicate that this was a particularly brutal murder. The letters A and V are carved into the victim's shoulder blade.
Is there money to be made? Always keep your eye on the prize.
Xander Sonatus' courier service, a letter for you. Gunsmith's Guild. I don't see any guns or merchants. Thank you, thank you. It's been a while since I last received a letter. Hopefully it's from some young lady who is smitten with me. No, these are bills.
Let us not dawdle.
For Drusus the warrior, the Emperor's chosen, we offer our prayers. The Heart of Footfall is a colossal statue of the Emperor carved from a single asteroid. The Emperor actually doesn't appear the same to any two people. He has a psychic glamour effect, so whenever someone looks at the Emperor, they see whatever they kind of want to see, or what he wants them to see. For the Imperium, made manifest by the Emperor's blessed force of unity, we offer our prayers. He's also a biomancer, so he can change his appearance if he so desires. One of the many altars, it looks better tended than most places on Footfall.
I always keep my options open.
Know, my children, that the truth is carved in gold into the parchment of the soul, while lies and heresy are the poison that threatens to erode this parchment. The truth is that the Emperor's light is sacred, and any who defy it are wicked and profane. Remember this, and never turn a blind eye to wickedness, wherever you may encounter it. Speaking of, oh, we did hit rank 2, Adherent. This was the burn effect on crit, right? What does the first one do? Oh yeah, the Rogue Trader and their allies gain a plus 10% chance to survive with 1 wound instead of falling unconscious. What we get next? Any momentum expenditure by the Rogue Trader and their allies, including heroic acts, is reduced by 20%. Nice.
Keep your wits about you.
The Heretic, the Xenos, and the Mutant are equally repulsive to the light. They are all poison that must be burned away with purifying flame. Which is why Argenta has a flamer. It'd be cool if you got Dogmatic points for standing here and listening to this. As like a hidden passive effect. Thus taught our forebears, thus said the saints, among which we honor Drusus the warrior above the rest. Thus wills the Emperor.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Alright, let's go meet with Hieronymous Doloroso. I think we cleared out everything else. Here can exit the
I
map.
always have a backup plan. Let us not dawdle.
Alright, from one zealot to another. Your Holiness, Reverend Hieronymus, I've been authorized to deliver an anonymous donation to you. This guy gets around, doesn't he? Or he runs around, at least. Its sender is too humble to give it to you in person. They hope that it will benefit the servants of the true faith. Impotent and vain is one who hopes to save their soul with gratuities. A little quick save. Alright, let's talk. The man with the face so drawn, it appears to be made of nothing but skin and bone, fixes his unblinking, bird-like eyes on you. The priest's simple black clothes have next to no adornments, and they do nothing to mask his unhealthy gauntness. In a cracked voice he says, "The Emperor protects." The Emperor protects, Reverend. But he protects only those who are pure of heart. Do you think yourself one of them? Be leery of this conviction of yours. Many who have risen to the pinnacle of faith have fallen from it into the embrace of pride most degenerate. And you must be the young von Valancius. That name carries weight, and it is a burdensome one, for its reputation suggests that Theodora encumbered it with many a transgression. I wonder, will you seek to shed them, where you carry them onward, picking them along the way like ripe fruit, and savoring their sweet poison? Make the sign of the Holy Aquila. I put my faith in the Emperor. He gives you a scrutinizing look, then his tone softens. Well, then be twice as diligent, for this sector will seize any chance to test your faith. He looks at Argenta, who is standing nearby, and his voice softens slightly. Greetings, sister. I congratulate you on your return. Was your pilgrimage fruitful? It was. Reverend, Let it be known to you that Theodora von Valancius' ship was attacked by servants of the archenemy, who appall the heart of any righteous soul, she says, nearly hissing with fury. And not all of them met a fitting end. Some fled, and more than that, their blasphemous words clearly pointed to this attack being part of a larger design. Reverend Hieronymus, I wish to join the esteemed Rogue Trader's crew and help protect the von Valancius dynasty from the forces of the archenemy. I am divesting myself of the responsibility of guarding the Footfall reliquary. Sister Argenta stood by my side during the assault on the ship, and I could use her assistance going forward. Hieronymus nods in thought. Follow the call of your soul, sister. The Footfall reliquary will be preserved even without your contribution, as it was in all the years preceding your arrival. Hieronymus smiles sadly. I know what it is that calls you to follow the Rogue Trader, Sister Argenta. You seek combat, or helps you to forget how hollow and worthless our lives truly are. It offers the illusion of meaning. Perhaps you'll relinquish this illusion one day, or perhaps you will die before that day comes. Regardless, I wish you luck on your new path. I mean, they are called Sisters of Battle for a reason. But before you start on a path toward your new destiny, I have a request to make of you and your companion. Many among my flock are from the poorest, most dispossessed people in Footfall. They've brought me troubling news from Footfall's shadow quarters. In the darkest corners, where the Legion's wardens do not venture, taint has taken root. Footfall is consumed by profanity, but even here, true heresy, serving the arch-enemy, is a rarity. The cultists who now dwell in the shadow quarters mark their abodes with a sun inscribed in blue and gold, and perform strange rituals in secret. The weak find solace in believing these reports to be rumors, but I well know that evil lurks all around us, and I wish to see retribution. I come across heresy surprisingly often these days. Indeed, dark times are upon us, and wretched souls grow ever more eager to embrace heresy. Both on Footfall and elsewhere, its foul buds are coming into bloom. Troubling news is arriving from many planets. There are whispers of wicked things taking place on Kiava Gamma, and just recently, a transport ship by the name of Navika, teeming with refugees, arrived on Footfall from Winterscale's realm. Their world was stricken with blasphemous sedition, as such was its severity that they had to flee to save themselves. The Legion refused to accept them, so they headed for Foulstone, a desolate cloister of the righteous. It was wise of them not to linger in this den of vileness. Why don't you go to the Liege with this matter? Excuse me. I do not walk the paths pleasing to the Liege, Hieronymus frowns. Vladame is weak and riddled with worms on the inside. He seeks to please his Casbalica masters, those peddlers of relics of the unholy Xenos. We will verify this rumor, Reverend Hieronymus. With great pleasure. Argenta puts her hand on the stock of her weapon. I almost wish for the rumor to be true. My heart yearns to battle some heretics. This is where I bid you goodbye, sister. Noble Donald, is there more you wish to ask me about? What are you doing on Footfall? What am I doing in this den of blasphemers, pagans, and the vilest of souls, you mean to say? Well, Footfall is the first and last stop in the Coronis Expanse. It is the point of arrival for those who have just started on their path, and it is also where those who are reaching its very end return, their souls wounded and bleeding. I embrace both the former and the latter, so that they may cast an honest eye over their impurity. Furthermore, rumors from across the entire sector amass in Footfall. By our crewmen whispering about a reclaimed shrine world or expressing a desire to carry the Emperor's light into the darkness among the stars. I help my flock in their sacred duty. Devoted trailblazers need assistance both spiritual and material. Tools, equipment, even garments and simple everyday items. Anything that might help pilgrims on their long journey and during the first days of the harsh frontier life is worth its weight in gold to us. May any help you offer to the effort of gathering such things be blessed. The path of true believers leads into darkness, to search for worlds that have lost his radiance, steeped in depravity. Blessed are the deeds of those who give themselves into the void and the warp in hopes that their actions might bring light into the darker reaches of the expanse, and deliver a previously barren world into the Imperium's service. Hieronymous is silent for a few seconds. And all the more bitter is the realization that not all brave souls will succeed in their mission. Footfall still awaits news from the Wasteland Wayfarer, an ancient ark of a ship headed for distant stars. The last astropathic message was sent from beyond the Cinerus Maleficum, and the stars have kept her fate secret since. I bear another darker duty. The expanse is filled with the tainted creations of unholy heretics. These insidious objects are a danger to the soul, but I know what to do with them. Should you on your travels come upon dangerous, corrupted objects, bring them to me, and the reward for your vigilance will be even more generous. The Jerusian mission has much to share with the rogue trader. Can we move our conversation to a place more befitting people of our rank? Why? For a missionary, his temple is the patch of deck beneath his feet. From where I stand, I can clearly see the life of my flock, all its bustling, blooming, and wilting. Here I can see their vile urges, futile hopes, and flashes of sincerity. I have a question about faith. My sermon planted the seed of faith in the heart of another rogue trader once, Incendia Chorda. Perhaps you're destined to become my second fledgling. Tell me more about the Emperor. You think it is so easy to put into words his essence and splendor. The Emperor is the perfect deity that reads our hearts and grants us his light. He led humanity out of darkness and horror. He created our great home. He experienced torment and pain, which only made him stronger. That is a lesson to us all. Purity is not to be bound at the bottom of the dirtiest hive or in golden palaces, but only among the ranks of those who suffer. Argenta silently makes the sign of the Aquila, her bright eyes burning with unyielding flame. What is the proper way to worship the Emperor? Is that a right answer to that? Worlds all across the Imperium, across its million worlds, all worship him in different ways. But they still have to meet a certain requirement to be okay. Pray to him, destroy his enemies, and touch not their poisoned gifts. Cast aside all doubt and be vigilant against the weak souls beside you. When you see a sign of taint, burn it away without pity. Pain is good. It tears the crust of vileness from one's soul. Remember that if you see no fault in you or around you, then you're not being diligent enough in your search. Or you are being too lenient on yourself, averting your eyes from the truth. The Emperor's servants, who are they? You speak of the Adeptus Ministorum. Well, these heralds of his word hold great power. Every priest, myself included, is part of its hierarchy, and the ecclesiarchy possesses the unique right to judge what is virtuous and what is malign. The Adeptus Ministorum prays and cares for the temples. It sends missions such as my own to every corner of the dominion of humanity. It fights against heresies. May the Emperor bless his faithful servants. You think that his mercy extends that far? I've seen many who wish to be our shepherds. Power clouds their vision, and their greedy hands scoop up all they can reach. The ecclesiarchy is long overdue for a cleansing. That's very self-aware of him. He might actually be an honest member of the ecclesiarchy. Many would consider your remarks about the ecclesiarchy to be heretical, and many others would find them truthful. I'm a preacher of a radical teaching that renounces fear. I've left the bounds of the blessed Imperium to carry his light into the darkness of the frontier. I've come to know depravity firsthand, and am now able to perceive it under any guise. I think I can afford myself a modicum of truth. Who is the enemy of the Imperium? It has three faces. The inhuman Xenos, who wish death upon us simply because they are unlike us. Not necessarily. Humanity picked a lot of fights with Xenos, especially during the Great Crusade. There were many that were willing to work with the Imperium, and those bridges were burned. The pitiful subhuman mutants, abominations that wish death upon us because they envy us and are ashamed of themselves. And the archenemy that reigns in the Immaterium, which wishes death upon us by its very nature. Deer starts giggling at Hieronymus' words. He forgot to mention people like me. My whole life people have told me I'm filth on the face of humanity. It's poison. It's bane. She stops abruptly with a sob. Tell me about Incendia Chorda. Have you heard of Aspis Chorda? Pirate, blasphemer, xenophile, and egregious apostate. Incendia is her heir, and a rarity among rogue traders. The protection of the Holy Warrant typically leads to the swift atrophy of conscience and pious dread, but not in Incendia's case. She relentlessly hunts down pirates and firebrands, and brings rebelling colonies to repentance, establishing strict discipline. The weight of her wrath is great indeed. The colonies she punishes are girded with orbital rings of heretic corpses as a warning to the survivors. As her personal confessor and guide, I find no end to the joy her triumphs in faith bring me. Her intolerance is worthy of respect. It's good that you realize this. It may be difficult to admit, but mercy is a weakness and a gateway for degradation. I am having a hard time role-playing such a zealous character, but may as well lean into it for this playthrough. Thank you for your explanations. Think nothing of it, young von Valancius. I cannot talk today. Tell me about yourself. Neither my past nor my present hold any secrets, but take heed when gazing into my heart, for many dark thoughts lurk within. What is troubling your heart? Bad omens. Dark times have come. Ships from the Imperium barely appear in the Kronos Expanse anymore. In Footfall's shadow quarters, taint thrives. The people here are corrupt enough to succumb to it gladly. Rumors around the Expanse say that the accursed Xenos have grown bold and are rearing their heads. They attack ships and settlements, walk under the suns of Imperium worlds like kings, instead of cowering in the shadows. What next? What adversities await us, if such disgrace is happening already? He shakes his head sternly. There's more and more talk of how poorly things are going in the Expanse. Some days it seems I can't take 2 steps without hearing some peasant pontificating on the matter. Humph. Even if it is as dire as they say, the Von Valancius realm will not crumble under the blows of fate, no matter how devastating. Chin up, Lord Captain. This is no time to lose heart and lament your lot. Not only is your hope false, it is also dangerous. Among his servants, there have been people of greater integrity who sullied themselves in their attempts to rise above the rest. Who were you in the past? A wretched fiend. Blinded by my ambitions, I served in my home planet's Adeptus Administratum Division. I was a shrewd and sly bureaucrat, and I soared to great heights, the very chair of prefect. In 30 years, I turned my home from a withered fringe colony into a prosperous world. Our wealth grew as we bloomed. But the bloom was a veneer for rot. Opulence had depraved us, and luxury had seduced us with its sordid promises. The planet's denizens no longer wished to pray or work. They only sought entertainment and dangerous philosophies. 1,000 vile heresies and 1,000,000 appalling vices bred on my world like mold on a Nutribar. In those days, I saw with my own eyes the shameless ugliness of the soul. I repented of my hubris, left the position of prefect, and became a traveling missionary. I have been one ever since. As for my world, 20 years later, the Holy Inquisition consigned it to purifying flames. The Emperor is merciful for allowing you a chance at redemption. Who said I had redeemed myself? I doomed an entire planet to degeneracy. You think a decade or 2 of wandering with a mission is enough to atone for that? No. I'm a poor excuse for a shepherd in his eyes. Your words about the past are drowned in murky hues of sickly green, and your talk of the present falls in great flakes of ash upon the shoulders of your listeners. Sorrow truly weighs heavily on you, Reverend Hieronymous. That is why the fire in your words is devoid of golden radiance. The faded flickers of teachings leave nothing but black soot on their souls. I have no more questions. I am surprised that you had any to begin with. I'd like to take a look at what the followers of St. Drusus have to offer me. Let me see. Alright, some medikits. 5 to be precise. Enforcer Helm. All targets of Tonic Scream suffer a penalty to their willpower test against this ability. Onslaught. Instantly increases movement points by +6 and grants 2 charges to the slash ability. It reduces weapon skill, ballistic skill, and perception by -15 until the start of the user's next turn. Imperial Scroll. The scroll grants the owner a +15 bonus to Lore Imperium. And Bloodhound Staff. So it grants Devastating. First use of an attacking navigated power per turn. Does not set the power on cooldown, it does not count toward the attack limit per turn. The second use of this power or the use of a different attacking navigator power on the same turn deals an additional +6 damage to all targets, and 6 direct damage to the navigator. +10 willpower and +5 perception. That seems like an upgrade for Cassia. Oh, a power claymore. Alright, some good stuff there. As for Cassia, so willpower goes up by +5. Yeah, I think the Bloodhound Staff is just better, and it pairs really well with
Color the uncolored.
Lidless Stare. So she can use this twice per turn, and the second time is going to boost the damage by 6 for all the enemies it hits. So she can hit a ton of enemies with that.
I always keep my options open.
Alright, so we have a quest in the Shadow Quarters. I'm going to go to the Palace first, because we may get a quest there that takes us there as well. Plus, we're already here, so...
Is there money to be made?
We went this way already, right? Yeah. Alright, I'm going to call it here. Next time I enter the Liege's Palace and meet with Vladame, Tokara, and go from there. Now let us pass. Important matters to discuss with the Liege. Leave. The Liege will see no one today. Well, except for me. I don't understand. Never before has Vladame refused me an audience. I'm a hereditary servant. My family has tended the station for generations. How dare you bar my way? You're welcome to, file a written complaint. Deposit it in the Legion's complaint box. That trash chute over there. Oh, he has Dogmatic legs. Alright, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.